You know, Kevin Hart is a comedian that made quite a name for himself. You know, being born and raised here in Philadelphia, you know, I remember Kevin Hart before he rose to stardom. I remember Kevin Hart when he was just at the Laugh House. He was just a comedian. He was very funny. He was underground, and he was working his way up. And he would be at the Laugh House every weekend. We would take girls out on dates to go to the Laugh House because that was the spot, man. They used to have a lot of funny underground comedians there, and Kevin Hart would come there and rock the house. Well, he's since now blown up into major stardom. I'm talking about multi-millions, movies, tours around the world, and with that, he's been able to hire a lot of employees. And in today's time of social media, to keep your business from being told, a lot of these employees are being now, if you want employment, forced to sign NDA, a legally binding contract that requires parties to keep specific information confidential. NDAs are often used in business and professional settings, such as when hiring employees or contractors, selling a business, or discussing ideas. They are important. They are an important legal framework that protects sensitive information from being disclosed by the recipients, and it's very important. You know, he had his allegations of cheating on his wife while she was pregnant. We know that he was married at one time when he had 2 children by his first wife, Tori, and you know he talked about cheating and everything. But now, you know, he has a woman coming out against him. But let's first look at this commercial and what they're talking about in NDAs and how it works. Check this out.
Mahoney stops by. Tonight we're talking about the legal elements of a hit TV show. It's on Hulu. You've probably heard it. Maybe you've watched it all. It's called The Dropout. Amanda Seyfried continues to win awards for this, for playing Elizabeth Holmes. There's a backstory in the legal world kind of having to do with this.
So NDAs,
yeah.
Non-disclosure agreement, that's what an NDA stands for. So essentially it's a contract that you're not going to disclose confidential information that you acquired in a certain form. And obviously it's going to be for somebody that isn't bound by certain confidentiality agreements. So like with your attorney or your physician,
sure,
they're supposed to be bound by confidentiality without you having to do anything. So a lot of times this is an employer-employee relationship, or like let's say, you know, my daughter is an actress out in Hollywood, and when you go see a movie, if they'll preview a movie to people, you have to sign an NDA that you're not going to tell anybody what it's about, that you're not going to tell anybody what it's like. If you go audition for certain things, you have to sign NDAs saying that you won't disclose what's going to happen. If you're on a hit show, you have to sign an NDA that you're not going to disclose what's coming up on the hit.
I worked for American Idol for 5 seconds 10 years ago.
Right.
I had to sign an NDA.
Right, see? So the thing about NDAs is the question is, how enforceable are they when you're drug into a court of law?
Sure.
We know that outside of a court of law, then you absolutely cannot disclose any of the information. If you do, usually there's a liquidated damages clause, which essentially says, if they show you disclose the information, you owe this much money to them, period.
So if you sign those NDA agreements, you have to abide by the agreement. You have to learn to keep your mouth shut. There's going to be things that you may see that you can't speak about. You can't go online and chase clout and make the excuses, because you signed the agreement in order to get the gainful employment from the person that was hiring you. Meaning that they was trusting that you would keep a lot of things that you may see or their business under your hat. That's what you're supposed to do. And if you break that agreement, you may be liable for X amount of dollars. So why would you, if you know that you can't afford to pay for certain, like if you say, well, I'm going to break this agreement, I might have to pay them $250,000, but I might make a couple $1 million just by exposing the secrets that I know. That may be a little different. But you ain't got that kind of money. And some NDA agreements may even take the money that you may make to actually talk about that person because it's in the binding contract. So you shouldn't talk at all. So you had this woman, Maisha Shakes. She was a very beautiful woman that was, she worked as a personal assistant to Kevin Hart. And she went to spilling the tea and telling all his business. And she went to Tasha K to chase clout. And we remember when she did the first interview, they took her to court. And you haven't heard from her since. Now, we know that Tasha K beat Kevin Hart in court when she came for Tasha K, but this girl, Maisha, no, she fell by the wayside. She didn't do too well because she was in a binding contract. But chasing clout, she went something like this.
Cheating. What have you witnessed besides everybody seeing the tape? What have you witnessed, though, personal assistant?
I witnessed, there's a blonde girl who has this pretty curly hair. She's light-skinned, skinny. I think she's probably black and white, black and Spanish or something. She has like this fluffy, natural hair. He bought her in the office, and she drives a Range Rover. That's how I know who it is, and Kevin drives his different cars. She comes into the office, and when he introduced her to me, he said that she was his model for Hustle Hart, taking the Hustle Hart supplements and, you know, posting them. Oh,
gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
And what'd you see?
Kevin and I, we shared an office. Kevin bought the entire floor. One side was Laugh Out Loud, one side was Heartbeat. And so he had the office, and then it was this big office like the size of this room. And right here was my office. Right here was his office. He had a middle table, the conference room, and a bathroom, his dressing room, and a kitchen. I came in one day. I don't know if anything happened, but there was somebody in his office, and I was heading to mine because somebody just put a TV on my wall. Correct. Someone was supposed to put a TV on my wall. Okay. And I came in and I walked right back out, and I was like, whatever is happening in there, I know it's not good. I didn't see anything, but I left.
You heard noises?
Yes. I don't know what kind of, but it was something happening. I knew who was in there.
Who?
The blonde girl.
Oh, he ain't even in hotel rooms. He said last time I got caught up in a hotel room.
And that's why he wanted a shower. And he told his designer that he needed a new couch. And I told his designer, I said he needed a new couch because he wanted to on his couch. That's what he needs it, because the one that you got in there is not comfortable enough to be pounding some cheeks. That's why he needs a new couch.
So now she's crying and she's in court. She wants the case thrown out. And she's saying, you know, she's on social media talking to whoever would listen. But she went to Tasha K. She said, at the time of signing the NDA, I was suffering from significant mental health issues and was under considerable financial distress due to my unemployment. Hart was fully aware of my ongoing health issues and critical need for health insurance and funds, as I could not afford health insurance or my prescribed medications. At the time I executed the NDA, I was not aware that it could include a confidentiality clause, as I was told by Hart that it was simply a mutual release and it would benefit me and my family. I don't believe that. She understood it. The way she articulated herself on Tasha K, and it was alleged that Tasha K was trying to extort Kevin Hart for $250,000. I know that he sued her. I know that he lost the case in court, but this woman now is on a hook for money because she went and ran her mouth. Now, you're in the industry. Nobody's going to want to touch you no more because you went and ran your mouth to Tasha K. Now, this is a very attractive woman. She could have maybe hooked up with a guy that has some money. She could have got another job. She could have did certain things. But this is what happens when chasing clout goes wrong. Like, either don't be a part of what goes on in Hollywood, or if you're going to go there and you're going to sign contracts and all that kind of stuff, keep your mouth shut. Other than that, what you over? You want to get noble now, and you want to come out and tell the world because maybe he didn't pay you or he fired you or you're disgruntled. So now you want to come out and tell the world. But you should have thought of that when you decided to sign the contract, when you decided to go into that world. So you're talking about him pounding some cheeks on a couch. That's not none of our business. It was something that went on with you and Kevin behind closed doors that left you disgruntled. So now you're upset. So now you decide to go to Tasha K. Tasha K can't help you. Tasha K ain't even talking about you no more. You become irrelevant to Tasha K. Because you took that risk to step out and run your mouth for something that you was okay with. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they was having, as attractive as she is, if they was having some sort of sexual encounter and it went sour. So now he didn't do something that she wanted done, so now she went and told him. But now all of a sudden, she's not aware of how the NDA works. This stuff is so, like, you can't make this stuff up. But you chose to go into that life. You know what goes on in Hollywood. You know what goes on behind closed doors. You know what goes on when you're dealing with a multi-millionaire man and all the women that come up. You understand that kind of stuff. You know this man had a wife, and you know he's a habitual cheater. You knew all this stuff going into work for the man. You knew all this stuff prior to. So now all of a sudden you want to just expose everything. What did you thought that you would gain from this? What did you think you was going to gain from it? And this is the stuff. So I would tell people, if you have dreams and aspirations of going to Hollywood and becoming a star, if you decide to go into those rooms and sign those contracts, if you ain't doing nothing to compromise your body, but you sign contracts to keep your mouth shut, keep your mouth shut. Because you chose to go over there. If not, stay on the side where we at and talk trash from over here. Don't go over there with them people. Come out from amongst them and be separate. But if you want to go into them rooms and party with them and be a part of all that kind of stuff, then you got to take the good with the bad. You got to shut your mouth. So I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.